This is the Crookedrivercast. Who are you? Well, we're Rob and Tom, two guys trying to keep track of what is going on in the great state of Ohio. This is show 60. That's 60. Wow. The week of May 11th. Yep, you guessed it. Another week gone right by. And, we may have some stuff to discuss. Let's do it. Not messing around. Let's go. In the morning. How you doing this morning?
I'm all right.
I'm good. We're living the dream.
I'm living a very boring.
Boring is good a lot of times.
I don't know. I was thinking about the last couple of weeks, and I'm like, you know what? I got nothing to talk about. I got nothing.
Huh. Yeah, not too much. A little bit of travel this week. Not too much. I think after the show, I'm going to just completely mess up my kids Saturday and just take the network offline and rebuild it. And the house,
Okay.
If you hear the screams, you know where it's coming from. Oh, there's no internet. It's down. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen?
Why can't you turn on your phones as Wi-Fi?
I mean, I want to give them that. How about read a book? I'm just teasing. They actually do read a lot of books. So
yeah.
Can't fault them for that. Yeah, well, nothing much going on. Just another week. I mean, I guess, a whole week went by and no one tried to shoot the president or the vice president.
I heard it.
Or did they?
I heard JD had something with JD.
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't pull anything, but
there was 2 in one day. They caught some guy or shot some guy in D.C. with a gun going around the White House, and then they found somebody with a gun or shooting a gun in the vicinity of the motorcade of the vice president.
Yeah.
Never mind. Sorry, forgot. I thought that was last week. I get my weeks confused in all the shots.
just another boring week for the president and vice president.
Yeah. Ceasefire in Ukraine and Russia for a couple days.
For 3 days? Well, I just saw the headline. Did you look into that?
Yeah, a little bit. It's for they have a celebration this time of year, the end of World War II, and that is because of that, and Trump is hoping that they can continue it.
Okay.
What I've been following is I don't know. Maybe I'm just watching the news that's pro-Ukraine, but like I said, I think I've said this in the last couple of weeks. Ukraine's made some major hits on the Russian oil infrastructure. Like they've hit a couple of ports, a couple of big refineries.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering, has anything to do with the ceasefire? Like, hey, maybe we should probably. I mean, they're sending long-range drones in. I'm trying to figure out where they're getting all these drones. All of a sudden, Trump doesn't. There's no talk about Ukraine and Russia, and then all of a sudden, Ukraine starts kicking butt. I wonder. But hopefully, that'll end pretty soon. But I'm not holding my breath because I'll be turning blue if I hold my breath on that one. So, but before we go on to the stories, I want to keep everybody just a quick reminder at the beginning of the show. You can always follow along at crookedrivercast.com as we go through these stories. So just to keep you in the loop and check it out. But first, Tom, you asked for it.
What?
You asked for these things, so I finally found a story that I thought we could bring into the show. I think you had mentioned we need some more of this. So here we go. This is FBI releases some files. Did you see the files they released? Some of the.
I did not.
Oh, well, here's, of course, thanks to Osmond Gold. I gotta stop. He just keeps, the more I watch him, the more he shows up on my feed. Go figure. And he goes through a couple of these files. So the FBI released some files on UFOs and strange 4-foot tall men and sightings from the moon. Here we go.
FBI files reveals reports of 4-foot-tall beings emerging from UFOs. Allegedly a negative photo of the strange dead being that was found in a UFO crash site in New Mexico. So let me get this straight. This right here was in the files. He's just a little guy. I mean, that's a really little guy, though. A UAP that they saw from the moon. Newly released UFO files include phenomena observed by astronauts during the Apollo mission. Apollo 17 crew reported seeing unidentified bright lights spark up, sparks that lit up space. Apollo 11, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin described seeing a mysterious brighter object tumbling past their spacecraft onto the moon. Oh my God. The first unusual thing that we saw, I guess, was one day out of something pretty close to the moon. It had a sizable dimension to it, so we put a monocular on it. We just look out the window and there it was. Yeah, we weren't sure about what it might be. We called the ground and we were told the SIVB was 6,000 miles away. We were seeing all kinds of little objects going by at various dumps, and then we happened to see this one brighter object going by. At the time, each one of us had a chance to look at it, and it certainly seemed like it was within our vicinity and a very sizable dimension. I don't know. Like, I mean, you got both of them saying this is what happened, and this is confidential with the guys that went to the moon. So this is audio from 1965 Gemini Mission 7 UFO sighting.
This is Houston. Say again, 7?
So we have a bogey at 10 o'clock high. So we have several, looks like debris up there, actual sighting. It looks like hundreds of little particles going by to the left out about 3 to 4 miles. Looks like perhaps a vehicle that's disintegrated.
Roger, understand they're about 3 to 4 miles away.
They're past now, they're going to pull it over.
So were they lying about the UFOs they saw on the moon while not on the moon? Which one do you go? This is going to pit two conspiracy theories against each other.
Did you ever see the press conference that the astronauts had after they came back from the moon?
Not sure. Maybe.
Yeah, everybody should check that out. I mean, because they are acting weird. So were they acting weird because they didn't go, or were they acting weird because they saw things?
Interesting.
Both of those conspiracies are out there.
Sure.
You know?
And yeah, he was reading from the report, the declassified report from, debriefing of the moon landing.
Right.
And there's all this stuff in there. There's all the balls of light. There's more of those being released. And there's actually, if you watch the video, it'll be in the show notes. He does a little parody of Trump on somebody cut Trump on Rogan in a certain way where he's talking about makes Trump sound like he was saying there's definitely aliens and all. It's pretty freaking funny.
Was that cut or was that like AI?
I think it was just edited. Cut edited, because there's a couple of harsh edits that I see, at least. It could be both. I don't know.
I mean, I think you watched the interview, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. I don't remember him ever saying any of those things, but if you could find little bits and pieces here and there and cut it together, then I guess you could do it.
He did talk about aliens and UFOs, didn't he, on Rogan?
He talked about Elon. I don't know if he talked about aliens or he didn't talk about it, if you know what I mean. Like he asked, but like Joe might have asked, but he didn't.
Yeah, but a lot of stuff in the cut up is. Did you see it? You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It seemed like it wasn't talk about aliens, and then they made it sound like it. Yeah. That's what because he's talking about Kamala Harris, and and the reaction of Joe, so maybe it might be AI. I don't know. I just thought it was conveniently edited to make it sound like Trump was releasing or revealing all this stuff about aliens. More orbs in the sky, making all kinds of crazy moves, and
I think they're going to continue releasing things, right?
Yeah, it almost feels like they're prepping us.
Did you hear about the pastors meeting with the government?
Yes. Who was talking about that? Was that Poole?
Poole talked about it, but there's actually a pastor from Cleveland from like a large church that is talking.
Could have totally had a local tie to it as too. I missed that.
I should have cut that, but it just seemed like so much BS that I didn't want to go there.
Yeah, it could be. But didn't they had a, what was it? What's the premise of this meeting? No, I forget.
I guess the speculation is that they're meeting with different pastors to make sure they can, I guess, warn their congregation about the news coming out, and so they don't lose faith, I guess. But others are thinking that they're telling them this because they want to break up the Christians.
Ooh, look at that. A conspiracy on top of a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is getting sticky now. I
didn't
believe both. I don't know which one to believe.
I didn't look into it too much because it was too much like, the pastor was from like one of those mega churches. So I was kind of like, I don't even want to.
Yeah.
You tell me they're from the Cleveland diocese, then I'll, then I'll check it out, but not somebody from a mega church.
Interesting.
Not that there's anything wrong with them. It's just, I want to hear a Catholic pastor talk about it. Not,
somebody. Yeah. Again, I go ahead and practice your faith. It's just everybody's a little different. I've been to a couple of those. Well, not mega ones, but they're actually fun compared to my normal Catholic ceremony. They're actually quite fun. There's a full
church
band.
Church is not supposed to be fun.
Why not? I know you're right. That's what a Catholic would say. It's not supposed to be fun. You're supposed to be there and be quiet and shut up.
My knees are supposed to hurt.
I know they do.
No, yeah, they have better bands and
it's more interaction. It's actually what I thought of it was almost cross between a traditional Catholic, Protestant, or a Roman Catholic, and the in between of that, and like a Southern Black church.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're just singing and screaming and all this. It's kind of in between. It's not quite as vocal, but nowhere near what a Roman Catholic mass would be.
Right. I'm
not sure. I don't know. I enjoy going. Well, I'll get on this, but I enjoy going because of the peacefulness. I'm not sure I would always enjoy the loud in the band and stuff. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sure. The aliens.
We can talk about this forever.
Aliens took us to Catholic man. Okay. Awesome. Never know where a conversation will lead you. Next on our fabulous list of stories. Well, there's an insurrection in Tennessee. Did you hear?
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear? Oh, my gosh.
Insurrection? No, they're just protesting.
Oh, it's total. I mean, I'm just going off of what I've learned over the last 5 or 6 years that this is definitely an insurrection. And they should all be put in solitary confinement for 3 or 4 years without a trial. And just for being annoying, maybe. Here's you want to hear what happened? Okay, I guess we should explain. If you didn't know, since the Supreme Court ruling and them expediting the ruling and certifying it and everything else, states are now looking back. I think Louisiana itself has halted elections, and they're going to, even though people have already voted, which, hey, what's a problem with early voting? Oh, here's one. People have already voted, but that person may not be there. The people they voted for, and it may not be available because they're now going to redistrict it again. And I would say you'd be lucky to have one Democrat in that state at this point.
In Tennessee?
Louisiana has halted the election to redistrict, and people have already voted, so this is becoming an issue. They're not sure.
No, it's not an issue. It's the only, Ketanji Brown was the only one making an issue of it, and Alito slapped her down.
Right, but if you've already had your vote,
but what
do they do with it, I guess?
What are they going to continue an illegal vote?
Right, I understand that. What do you have to revote now?
They're going to redo the primary. Like do an emergency.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be a crap show. But hey, I mean and remember everybody, this was the Democrats who put this lawsuit in place. So be careful what you wish for. So the Tennessee state legislature, on the eve of this ruling, redistricted themselves of their state And they got rid of the only Democrat seat in the state. And here's the reaction. Hold your ears. Yep, clowns. Yep. There was a state Congress member on the floor with that horn.
Yeah, and I think another Congress member lit a Confederate flag, a paper Confederate flag on fire inside also.
Naturally.
There's other footage. We just have the libs of TikTok X post.
Yeah, that's the whole story is from her X post.
But there's other footage out there that's just insane. You know, the problem that the Democrats have with this ruling, I guess, is okay. I guess red states haven't gerrymandered like the blue states have, right? Not
well. I originally thought the same thing, and then I looked it up.
No, they have, but not to the extent the blue states have.
There are more all Republican representative states than all Democrat representative states, according to Grok.
Yes.
There's 12 states that currently have no Democratic representatives in the state house.
The problem that the Democrats have is that the states that they have like gerrymandered to death, like Illinois, Maine, New Hampshire, all the blue states, California, they can't gerrymander anymore because they got it.
Yeah, yes,
and the Republicans can and they will. I don't think to the extent the Democrats have, but
I think the issue for this ruling, which doesn't really apply to Tennessee. Tennessee I think they were looking to do this anyway. Yeah, the issue for the Democrats is they're going to redistrict Illinois by force because a lot of the redistricting is now illegal because they did it by race, solely by race, basically.
Oh, if you look at Illinois, it's crazy how you got like a 50-mile, 2-foot wide line.
Just attached to areas of minority citizens or minority areas.
Yeah.
Not that Illinois is going to go blue, but it's probably going to get a couple more Republican seats.
You mean go red?
I mean, so yeah, it's never going to go red, at least not in my lifetime. I don't think but you will get a couple more seats, and that's really.
If you think about Illinois, I think most of it's actually red. Should be.
The rural areas are just like Ohio.
Yeah,
it's red except for Cincinnati, Columbus, Dayton, Akron, and Cleveland.
Chicago's just so populated.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's basically that. I was kind of shocked that I didn't realize. I knew it would be close, but there are 7 states that have no Republican representatives in the U.S. House. There are 12 Republican states that have no Democrat representatives in the House.
But what's the percentage of votes?
It's close. It's kind of all. I mean, I think maybe slightly the blue states have a slightly more, so a lot of the Democrat states, there's 40, 38, 42, 45% are Republican, and they have no Republican representatives. And for example, Alaska has 1 seat. So there's a couple of states on both sides that have 1 seat. So of course it's only going to be one party.
Well, I thought Alaska had 2. Okay,
maybe.
I thought
According to Grok, which what could go wrong? Asking Grok. Alaska has 1 seat, but there are 41% voted for Harris. Idaho's
yeah, but 30%. If there's only 1 seat,
yeah, so that's kind of out of the. And there's a couple of those on the Democrat side. Wyoming. So Wyoming, data Democrats were tracked. Wyoming's 11% Democrat versus 77% Republican.
Yeah, they shouldn't have any.
But South Dakota has 34%.
Yeah.
Nebraska has 38% Democrat, or voted for Harris at least, I think. and it's slightly more egregious on the Democrat side, but not by a tremendous amount. It's not like all these Republican-only states have 10%. A lot of them do. Utah 13%, and then West Virginia, South Dakota show similar patterns with Democrats in the 20 to 30% range or lower. We're tracked. It says. So it happens on both sides. I mean, have you ever heard this coming out of Iowa? No. Alaska? No.
No.
Montana? No.
If the Republicans did that, they would be arrested.
Exactly. If they just casually walk through peacefully, you get arrested.
Yeah. They wave an American flag and yay, America, and they get arrested for that.
Which, I get maybe to a point you are trespassing to some degree, but I don't think it comes to 3 years of solitary confinement. Not sure. That's great. Not even, I think I was watching a poll on this because there was Michael Knowles, I think, was debating somebody, and they were trying to pin Michael Knowles on, do you approve Trump pardoning neo-Nazis?
Yeah, I kind of saw that.
He didn't pardon them for a crime of being neo-Nazi because they weren't being punished for a crime. They were being punished for whatever they were going to be punished for. Assaulting a cop, okay, fine. Does it give you 3 years in prison in solitary confinement? I don't think so. I mean, just ask the cops in Seattle if they're getting that about the people who assault them on a daily basis. So yeah, insurrection in Tennessee. Was there arrests? I don't even know. Did you read if there were arrests?
Democrats doing it. There's no arrest.
Good point. And in the meantime, through all that, we had our own primary election last week. Wow. It was so exciting to go vote for. Half the ballot was just one person to choose from. I was like, oh, I guess you already won. But we do have some election results. I don't think there was any surprises. Do you?
No, not at all.
Good, because surprises sometimes not good in an election. I don't know what I'm talking about. Vivek and Amy are officially it. They are the ones that are going to be battling for the governor's seat in Ohio. It is finally official. Some of the primary results, they don't even have results. What happened to the other Republican candidates? There was a couple other ones, wasn't there? It was Heather Hunt.
For what?
For governor. They had that chick.
Oh, yeah, she got 0.
She got 1 vote at least. I hope she voted for herself.
Yeah.
Casey got 17.5%. That's not too shabby for a primary.
YouTube guy.
Yeah.
A little
143,000 votes.
That was a lot of, people were like, oh, that was a win for Casey. And it's like, I don't think so. Excuse me.
I don't know if it's a win. Well, it's definitely not a win because he technically lost. It's more than I thought he was going to get. With Vivek being as well known and with the money he has, I'm surprised. I didn't think he'd get 10%.
It's a primary. I think it's a lot of people voting or saying F you to Vivek. But a lot of those will vote for Vivek. It was just you know what I mean?
Yeah. I may know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I may have actually done that exactly.
Yeah. I just think that a lot of it's that. And when it comes down to the general election, people, I don't know how, like the only thing I worry about, and I don't worry about it. That's the wrong way to put it, I guess. But the only thing that I think might happen is Vivek won't get people to come out to vote. Not that they would vote for Amy, because that would
stay home.
Yeah, that's the only thing that kind of concerns me. But I don't think enough would to make a difference.
Looking at this article from Channel 3, which was like live results from like the night or day after, it gives me the Republican, for governor, but doesn't give me the results from the Democrat primary.
Well, she got 100%.
Oh, shoot. That's right. She was unopposed.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Let's listen to a little bit from, of course, I mean, we can't talk about Columbus and the election without Morgan. Let's listen a little bit from Channel 5 and kind of some details. And I do agree with Amy on this one point. I'll point it out.
It is a mixed bag for communities across Northeast Ohio today. Some are making some tough decisions now about what are the next steps after voters rejected a levy, a bond, or an income tax proposal. Good evening, and thank you for being here with us. I'm Katie Houston.
And I'm Damon Maloney. We have coverage from all across the region this evening as cities and schools face the aftermath of Tuesday's primary election. And we've also seen some major state and federal races come into focus. Let's begin here with your Columbus Bureau reporter, Morgan Trow.
The next chapter of this journey.
That next chapter in Ohio's future will be written over the next 6 months. Time for a change in our state. Republican nominee Vivek Ramaswamy, a Cincinnati businessman and billionaire, celebrated his win with his running mate, Senate President Rob McCauley, a legislative leader and attorney from Northwest Ohio.
I'm proudly the most pro-free enterprise, pro-liberty, conservative, and pro-capitalist governor this state will have ever seen.
Ramaswamy is running on the platform of cutting taxes, reducing government waste, and advocating for more energy independence. So far, he's raised $50 million in this race, half of it coming from himself.
Put more money in your pocket to bring down those costs.
The contrast in this race couldn't be more clear.
The Democratic nominee is COVID-era health director Dr. Amy Acton from Youngstown, and she is running with David Pepper, a former party leader and attorney from Cincinnati. Her platform is affordability in housing and health care, as well as improving public education and supporting small businesses.
Together, we're going to make Ohio affordable so that we can pursue our dreams again, so that we can live a good life.
She's raised more than $10 million for the race.
Ohioans need somebody fighting for them, not the self-funding billionaires and special interests.
And while Acton and Ramaswamy both bring up affordability, they have different ways to accomplish it. Acton wants to fully fund education so that schools don't rely on increasing property taxes, as well as put forward a working families tax cut. She's also proposed a new system to reduce prescription costs
and ensure that everyone in Ohio has access to quality healthcare, affordable healthcare.
Ramaswamy would limit automatic property tax increases and has suggested shutting down universities that he calls subpar, like Akron, Kent State, or CSU, in order to pay for an income tax cut. And he says that expanding natural gas development will also make life more affordable.
Bringing down your electric bills because we're producing more energy.
And for each of them, they say the race is really just beginning.
Now, the real destination is in November.
And while Ramaswamy and Acton are the two frontrunners, Libertarian Don Kissick will also be on the ballot.
And I left it in there just, by the way, there's a Libertarian candidate in there. Vivek sounds, well, him and Mandami have a lot in common. They're very slick. And that's about all they have in common as far as I can see. So that kind of concerns me a little bit. He's has that I don't know.
He has that Obama thing. He has that type of charisma.
Yeah, but it's just Mandami is kind of where I was getting. Yeah, he followed along in Obama's footsteps. Sounds like, but Amy,
I can't believe they couldn't find somebody better to run, because if there's a one that they maybe have a chance to win, this would be it.
But I think they know.
Yeah, I think so.
I think they know. Vivek has twice as much money than Amy has just out of his own pocket alone. So that right there tells you a lot. He's got five times what she has. So that right there, there's a big disadvantage on her end, and that's all, that they can only produce Amy. That was it. That's all the Democratic Party could have done. I think that tells you a lot about what they think the race is going to be like.
The one that actually quit. Like once the pressure got to her, she quit.
Yes. So what do? Go to the highest position in the state. Yeah. The highest. Just, why not? What could go wrong? I don't know.
It is weird. It is bizarre, man. But it's funny because I do see some of these commentators, but mostly from out of state. Actually, not mostly, all from out of state that don't know Amy Acton, and they're saying she's going to win, and that Vivek's not a good contender, you know. But it's like they haven't heard Amy talk enough yet. Like, because you just wait till there's like a bit more of her. Unless they do the same thing they did with Biden, just kind of like hide her the entire time.
Is there going to be a debate? I mean, I haven't.
There has to be.
There has to be one.
Yeah.
Is there? I mean, yeah, there has to be, but they could.
I think there is. I don't know how many people actually watch it.
I'll be watching this one. I'm going to try to watch this.
This is going to be fun.
This might be good. Yeah, I've talked to just people here and there on the edges. I try to stay on the edges of these kind of topics. And nobody likes Amy.
Yeah,
that I talk to.
Same here.
But they also don't like Vivek very much.
Yep, same here. But
well, you know, I don't know much about him, but I know he's going to close down universities.
Well, I haven't heard that. I just they don't like him because of from what I've seen, is that he doesn't have a good history here in Ohio, and he's got some shady business dealings.
Yeah, he had a failed Alzheimer's drug or something that everybody kind of points at.
He kind of, what's that called when you when it goes public?
Oh, IPO.
Yeah, it was shady the way it was done. Okay. He made a lot of money where he probably shouldn't have.
Yeah. Well, I guess. I mean, ooh, big surprise. I guess. How about, hey, can we? Let's hold Vivek accountable. But maybe before we do that, let's make a stop at Washington. Just talk to Congress for a minute about shady deals.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's like, I get it, but I hate how it's selective. Oh, look at him. He did some shady stuff. How much is Mitch McConnell worth?
No, I agree. I just think that's what people are whining about. But when it's going to come down to it, it's like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, and that's what I brought up too. I said, I was at a lunch and they were like, well, I don't know much about him, but I know he's going to shut down universities, or he wants to. I said, well, I don't know. I was like, are they sustainable? Are they making money? Are they self-sustaining? Are they bringing in enough people or students to keep their doors open without? And they all looked at me and said, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I said, well, we do understand that there are less kids every year. I go, these colleges enrollments are down. Well, not all colleges. I go, no. I said, but we are in agreement that we have less kids now than we did like 15, 20 years ago. Oh, yeah. I go, so we probably don't need as many colleges as we did? Oh, well. Okay, can we take a look at it at least? These are all state-funded colleges.
Well, it's surface-level thinkers.
Yes. Yeah, but they're looking for a reason not to like him.
Yeah, because they've heard, they've heard things, but don't know, kind of like me. I mean, like, I'm not too far off from it, where like I haven't looked into him that deeply, but he has said some things that I don't like with the H1, what is it, H1B?
H1B
H1B visas. Yeah, he said he actually did say he wanted school to be year round, not just and through a seasonal thing. And there was something else. And
he did insinuate that Americans are stupid.
Yeah, he has.
He can agree on.
Well, yeah, but you don't say that if you're running.
True. Well, he didn't say he said that.
No, he did. He said they're lazy.
Yes. Oh, okay. I mean, when I hear that, I go, yep, okay.
Yeah, but you don't say that to the people you want voting
for. The lazy
for
people, right. Don't say that to the people, The most of the people that need to vote for you are the ones you talk to. Oh, I agree. I tell people, well, have you talked to the general public lately?
Yeah, but it's always
might be onto
like
something.
That.
Yeah, you got to put it, politically correct in some ways. You do have to do that occasionally.
Hopefully he's learned his lesson. His messaging will be a little bit better from now on. But
What else was there? Attorney General. Oh, Secretary of State race. That was the next big one. So Ohio Treasurer Robert Sprague on Tuesday won the Republican primary for.
Yeah, I was hoping for Stribic, but he didn't really have a chance.
Yeah, defeated Air Force veteran Marcel Stribich, who positioned himself as an anti-establishment candidate. Sprague will face off against Rep. Allison Russo, Democrat of Upper Arlington, who defeated Brian Hambly, a Cincinnati doctor. Do you remember Brian?
No,
we talked about him. No, was that? No, that wasn't him. No, that was the next one. That was the Attorney General, I think. Cincinnati doctor in the Democratic Party. The winner of the race will replace the current Secretary of State, Frank LaRusso. Now, what's Frank going to do? What's LaRusso going to do? I don't know. LaRose, not LaRusso. LaRose, excuse me. What's Frank LaRose going to do? He's primary. Is he out because of term limits? I don't even remember.
I don't remember.
I don't think it says anywhere in the article either.
I thought he was running for something else.
Okay.
I forget.
But what else could he be running for? Because that's the third highest seat in the state. As a Secretary of State is like underneath the Lieutenant Governor or something like that. But I didn't see him anywhere else. I don't think I saw him anywhere else in the ballot. Okay. So maybe he's doing something else on a national level. Who knows? Next one, Attorney General. So in Democratic primary for Attorney General, Columbus area Attorney John J. I'm not even going to attempt that. Cluis. I don't know. It's Kulewicz. That's way out of my league. He defeated former state rep Elliot Forehand. This is the one. You remember Elliot, who previously said that he would kill President Donald Trump via capital punishment?
Oh yeah, that's right.
I wasn't. Well, what do you mean? I wasn't doing anything wrong. So he's gonna face John Jay. Will face Republican Ohio Auditor Keith Faber in November. Suppose he went unopposed. What else we got? A couple of House seats that may be of note. They brought up in this article from Ohio.news. Is Cincinnati area Democrat U.S. Rep. Greg Landsman fended off a primary challenger who was Damon Lynch, the fourth, the son and grandson of two Cincinnati civil rights activists and pastors. We may have dodged a bullet on that one. Picked up 68% of the votes. He will face off against Republican Eric Conroy, who won nearly 72% of the vote. And let's see. Last month they say it brings up Conroy was added to the 2026 MAGA majority program. So he was endorsed by Trump. And I think that's about all the big ones as far as state-wise.
Just mention Frank LaRose. He's the Secretary of State. He's term limited, and he's running for Ohio State Auditor. We're trying to replace, what's his, Keith Faber, who is also term limited.
Oh, yeah, because Faber's Attorney General for Republicans.
Okay.
He's facing against a Democrat in Columbus.
Gotcha.
In November. That's good to know. So, yeah, he was term limited. Now he's going to state auditor. Okay. Interesting. So those are the big races. I'm not sure anything else that you saw that I'm leaving out. I don't think.
No, it was kind of a no news election.
Yeah, no big surprises.
Yeah.
Actually, the only other thing was, Captor. Here, let's listen to this from IdeaStream. So the next article, which is Republican Derek Marin wins primary and will face longtime incumbent Captor in key rematch. I'm kind of thinking she's done for it. Let's listen.
In a rematch that could shape who controls the U.S. House this fall, Republican Derek Marin is set to again square off with longtime incumbent Marcy Kaptur. I'm IdeaStream Public Media's Abby Marshall with more on the race for the 9th District. The rematch has all eyes on Northwest Ohio, where in 2024, Democratic incumbent Marcy Kaptur narrowly defeated Marin by less than 1%. Conservatives have been eyeing Kaptur's seat for years, and now they potentially have the upper hand after the Republican-controlled controlled State House redrew the district ahead of the midterm elections. Captor has heavily criticized the maps for gerrymandering. It's a race that's gained national attention for its potential to tip which party controls the U.S. House. Former State Rep Marin held off State Rep Josh Williams and former ICE Deputy Director Madison Sheehan in the crowded primary. Abby Marshall, Idea Stream Public Media.
Yeah, I hope not. Can she go back to ICE and go finish what she was started at ICE? Sounded like she was doing something there. We talked about her a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they gerrymandered it. And maybe because I'm thinking it's already been gerrymandered in the past because Captor's been in the office for like 40 freaking years.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for you to go. Bye. So they redistricted it. And the last time he won by 1% or less, I think it was less than 2,000 votes. I think, and now that's, yeah, Captor,
she won by 2,300 votes.
Okay, it's about two. Okay, and this now the district is even redder than it was before.
Right.
Everybody's kind of thinking we have a new seat there.
Again, I think it's going to depend on the turnout, how motivated people are. She might keep it just because it's a midterm, and Democrats are going to be a little bit more.
Yeah. Still got to get out and vote. There's no guarantees.
Yeah.
That's the key. Got to get out and vote. Because the other thing on the ballot really kind of the main reason I go and vote a lot of times. Because, it's not like if I skip this vote, Vivek was going to lose. Are the levies. I had a couple on mine this year. Did you have any on yours? Any taxes on yours? Okay.
I didn't go vote this time because I had nothing, and I didn't think my vote was going to make a difference to any of the things I gave a crap about.
But guaranteed every election I have something to go vote for as far as taxes. I had a couple of continuing levies for city stuff. So definitely. But, good thing about primaries is definitely no line. Just walk right in. And my experience was a little different. What I'm used to going in and seeing are a lot of blue hairs.
Mm-hmm.
Today, this time she had pink hair.
Who's that?
It's the person behind the counter giving me my ballot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, some old lady with pink hair instead of.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, oh, yay. Where's your piercings? Did you take your piercings out? I can't even tell. Where are they at? That was slightly different. Usually it's a bunch of blue hair people behind the desk, but this time she was pink hair. So we had some levies pass and some levies fail. Let's start in the positive, Tom. Let's start in the positive. Let's talk about Lorain County, who narrowly passed.
That's positive?
An income tax. Well, it's a positive. Yes, Tom, it's a positive because they might be able to dance again. Let's listen.
Tiffany, I know you've been following closely what's happening in Lorain.
Yeah, I cover Lorain County, so Lorain City Schools is also celebrating this morning after voters narrowly approved a new levy. District leaders say the money will stabilize the district and bring back some support services and staff. 51% of voters said yes, while 48% voted against the new tax. While this is a win for the district, there's still financial strain directly affecting students. We've been telling you for months about the recent cuts to programs and staff at Lorain City Schools. I spoke with two dance students at General Johnny Wilson Middle School who are dealing with the fallout. What has it been like since the cuts were announced, the changes for next year?
There was definitely a shift in the mood. I feel like the teachers have been more stressed, and then it's just been like we are trying to cherish this moment because we don't know if we're going to have it next year. I remember the rehearsal at Lion King, and our director told us it, and we all was very disappointed. And we were all crying.
Well, Jacob and Peyton Wysocki love dance. It's helped them express themselves, plus be more confident and outgoing. Next year, dance will no longer be offered in elementary and middle school.
I feel sorry for the upcoming sixth graders, and the people, because I know there's people that saw how fun dance is through, like me and Jacob and the others, and that want to do dance club next year, and they won't be able to.
Oh. I just got into middle school, so I'm going to have more opportunities, but if these budget cuts cut some of them, it would also be hard to get these opportunities.
Yeah. Where else can you
dance? Well, they both hope dance comes back to the district, but it's unclear if or when that could happen. I have an interview set up later this morning with Superintendent Jeff Graham to find out exactly what the passage of this levy means for the district.
Oh, I know what it's going to mean for the district. You know, this kid, there's hope for this kid. If someone could send this documentary. Here's a little clip from his documentary. You know what's going to come from this? Right here.
Let's dance!
Yeah. Footloose, baby, we can dance again. Where else can you dance but in school? Sorry, I couldn't help myself on that. If you follow the documentary, Footloose, and they remade it again because they had to update it, that's what you do.
Did they?
Yeah, there's a new Footloose, 2000s version.
Oh. That original was good.
Oh, original was so good. I'm not sure why it was so good. Because that, chalk that under something that never happened. Like, school dances are never like that.
Oh, there's some small towns, I think, that were like that.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. But, no, it was just a rebellious teen rebellion.
Yeah, it was. Where else? What are they going to do without dance?
That was funny.
Without public funds, how can they ever dance? So here's News Channel 5, right? Is that what I said it was?
Yeah.
Yes. Here they are, looking for the worst of the worst. What's going to be? I mean, they passed this levy, but they're still going to be under financial straits. And what are we going to miss? What is going to be lost? What can we find to really pull and really make our point? Dance class.
When I saw this, I was like, boy, they're trying to pull on people's heartstrings, but I'm not sure if this will do it.
Yeah. I'm thinking, why'd you ever have a dance class that wasn't funded by the people you could have a dance class, but why at a school that's in financial embarrassment, as I like to say, you still have a dance class? Hello? Can we all see what the problem is here with some of these schools? Well, they were the minority in this election because most of these levies got rejected.
Mm-hmm.
Voters across the state rejected, and this is a Ohio.news story. Voters across the state rejected income tax levies once again, underscoring the headwinds facing taxes in Ohio. It says on Tuesday, voters in Independence, Parma, Amherst and Clark, and Medina counties were among those who rejected the income tax levies, according to reports from Cleveland.com and elsewhere. Well, I mean, what are they going to do? Well, after Wadsworth City Schools rejected, or people in Wadsworth School District rejected a 1.5% levy, they laid off 20 teachers, 3 administrators, 8 classroom aides, and 3 custodians, eliminating more than $1 million from the supply budget. The news source reported. Okay. Well, then I look up Wadsworth City Schools. And let's just have, can we have an idea of what's been going on in Wadsworth City Schools? So I asked Google, Gemini, has Wadsworth, Ohio schools enrollment increased or decreased? So based on 2024 through 2026 reports, enrollment in Wadsworth City School Districts is generally declining. By, let's say, I think they're saying 10 or 11% in the last 10 years. So they're averaging about 1 to 2% loss. Yeah, historical data. Enrollment decreased by 1.7% in 23-24 school year, reaching 4,390 students, down from 4,831 students 9 to 10 years earlier. They're averaging about a 1 to 2% decrease every year, despite the decline in enrollment. They increase staffing. There's been an increase in staffing, according to this Google thing here. Could be wrong. It's from a Facebook Wadsworth community post. Decisions in early 2026 highlighted that staffing numbers have been a key point of discussion during the budget decision. Well, if you have less students every year by a couple percentage points, at some point, what are all these teachers doing? They just axed 20 teachers in Wadsworth. What these teachers been doing with no students? 500, 600 less students over the last 10 years. Same thing with the college universities I had a conversation with. Cleveland City Schools. We got dozens of, like a couple dozen empty buildings that they're just sitting there. But yet they're still building more. Akron, tearing schools down because of lack of enrollment for 2 years later to build a new one. Okay. Just so you know, guys, it's a third of the state budget. Not including the property taxes that you pay. Just the state funded part of public schools is a third of the state budget. Yeah, I can't figure out why people are putting it down. So a lot of these, they did not even come close to passing. You're talking 70-30 if they're lucky. 65-35, maybe. It's kind of it's actually getting worse in a lot of schools, if you noticed. I think November 25, let's say Clark Shawnee Local School District, November 25, 68% voted against it. This last year, it's twice last year, voting 73% against November, only worse than 68% in May of 25. So the primary of the year, the early voting, they had 68% opposed it, and it got worse in November. 73% voted against it.
I think a lot of people are like I am at this point when it comes to levies. It's an automatic no. You really have to convince me, and they never do. So I think that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, it's a tough. I do get. I mean, things are getting more expensive.
I get that, but it's an automatic no. You gotta show me you're doing something right, and have they ever done anything right, or do they? Okay, so I don't have kids, and a lot of people don't have. Their kids might be grown already, so they're not paying attention to the schools. I think a lot of those people are like an automatic no at this point because they're not paying attention to what's going on, and all they do is keep asking for more money and telling you how bad things are, but they're not really convincing anybody. Like I've never heard anybody come out and tell you what their budget's like. They just always say not enough, but they're not really explaining anything.
Yeah, the only thing I ever hear is vast majority, 70+% of their budgets it's usually personnel. It's usually teachers and stuff, which makes sense. But I that's why I always push on declining enrollment and ballooning budgets. If you continually have 1 or 2% decrease every year, after 4, 5, 6, 10 years, you've got too many teachers, don't you? But in a lot of cases, talk about Wadsworth, people are complaining because it's increased. And the increase, and I did see something, I forgot to pull it. It was a graph on the increase in Ohio in the administrative spending in school districts. It is far out. I mean, it's skyrocketing. Not talking about teachers, talking about administrators, principals, the addition and the increase in pay in these people. And this graph was insane. It's skyrocketing as as teacher salaries stay basically level and enrollment dips, the administrator's cost for each school district is skyrocketing.
Right.
But here, of course, they're cutting 20 teachers. But again, I think you do need to cut 20 teachers.
I think so many people are feeling the pinch from groceries and gas, and they don't need to be.
Just look
at more burden on them.
Yeah, just look at your tax bill. You're paying $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a year for property taxes.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm paying enough. Figure out a better way to do it. I get it. I don't know. So a lot of those passed, or most of them failed. A couple of them passed. So maybe they can dance again. But that was about it for the election, I think. Yep. Levies passed, levies failed. Just check this. Yep. I think the next one, we got to move on it because I got some clips, man. Kind of been holding off on this topic as it boils. Things start to percolate and simmer. And I think it's finally come somewhat to light. Got a Daily Wire article. Actually, Ohio.news article is what started me on this, which is Ohio.news says reports finds 94 companies billing millions to Medicaid from a single building. Governor says no fraud alleged. There's no fraud alleged. And what they're referring to is this Daily Wire report. And what's this guy's name is Luke what? Rosaic. There it is. Rosaic.
Something like that.
Yeah, Rosaic. That's it. Yeah, I'll say it in this clip. And let's just start rolling with it because most of the information is in here. It'll be good stuff. And basically what they're finding is Medicaid fraud. What they're looking at is possible Medicaid fraud. And here's some of the background, the information. Maybe you start to look on the outside and looking at things that kind of the red flags that kind of throw. And I got quite a few clips from it, so let's get to it. Gotta have the scary music. Gotta have it.
Since Donald Trump's inauguration last year, Americans have been besieged with stories of rampant fraud and abuse in government programs. Huge segments of the population, mostly immigrant groups from low-trust societies, have enriched themselves at the expense of American taxpayers. They've stolen hundreds of billions of dollars from COVID relief funds and federal programs like Medicaid. If ripping off taxpayers were a contest, Somali refugees would be getting the gold medal.
Yeah.
In Minnesota and Maine, Somalis have been accused of aggressively ripping off autism and early childhood education programs. Much of this has been presented as quid pro quo politics, in which Democrat politicians buy votes by turning a blind eye to scams perpetrated by their supporters. But what if I told you it was happening in red states too? My name is Luke Rosiak. I've been investigating fraud and abuse in the federal government for 20 years professionally. And what I'm about to show you is the worst waste and abuse of tax dollars I've ever seen. It's not in New York or California. It's smack in the middle of the country, in Ohio, under a program championed by the state's Republican governor and his hand-picked appointees. We obtained millions of long secret government payment records for Medicaid, the shared state and federal health care program for the poor. What we found shocked us. An endless stream of cookie-cutter home health companies collecting millions from taxpayers. For some of these companies, there were red flags hiding in plain sight. Ohio has asked for and received waivers from the federal government, allowing it to expand Medicaid to do things it was never intended to do, including very expansive services rendered in people's houses, services that aren't medical at all, like doing chores, cooking, cleaning, even just providing companionship and conversation. The idea was it was cheaper than putting people in a nursing home. But this homemaking category quickly outpaced every other Medicaid category we have data for, the actual medical stuff. The number of people who suddenly claimed to need these personal servants was just that large. It turns out that when there's a huge incentive to claim that you're infirm without actually having to move into a nursing home, a lot of people start claiming they're infirm. Over the last several years, federal spending on home health doubled in Ohio from about $500 million a year to $1 billion a year. Columbus has just over 6,000 residents 75 or older on Medicaid, the kind of folks who might need help doing chores or cooking a meal or getting ready in the morning. Just one landlord alone houses 300 home healthcare companies that build enough to provide each of those patients 1,000 home healthcare visits. Before you even step foot in one of these home care businesses, the signs of massive fraud are right in front of you in the numbers.
In the numbers. What does the spokesperson for the governor's office say? This report has shown us no fraud. Well, 6,000 people in the Columbus area, in Columbus it says, that are on Medicaid that could be benefit from this. And there's one company has 3 buildings or something like that with almost 300 of these companies. Okay. Wow, that seems outrageous. So he's saying we got so many healthcare companies that just this one place alone that has almost 300 could give 1,000 visits to all 6,000 people in the Columbus area. Okay, let's move on. Let's see a little bit more here.
Of the 5 buildings in Columbus with the most Medicaid companies, 3 are owned by the New Jersey-based Cordoba Real Estate Group, LLC, registered by Israel Izzy Steinberg and Isaac Nassar, who lives in a $4.5 million mansion in New Jersey and showed off his sports car in one of his 2 airplanes online. Altogether, Cordoba Real Estate Group owns 7 buildings in the area during the time of the Medicaid payments released by the federal government. These 7 buildings are filled with nearly 300 Medicaid firms. Almost all the tenants in these buildings are Medicaid businesses who provide low-skilled, usually non-medical care for elderly or disabled people. The front doors are open, but inside, the 7 massive complexes are as abandoned as a post-apocalyptic
All have something
horror
in common.
Now we found Horizon Home Healthcare. This received $5 million. Meg Abedzariri is the owner, and $5 million over a couple of years. But it's just a closet. There's nobody here.
Smoke detectors chirp for new batteries. Office doors have signs suggesting the owner is out to lunch, even though the mail has been piling up. It's as if months ago, a supernatural phenomenon whisked all life away without warning. The United States government is under the impression that all these buildings hold thriving businesses. In all, Cordoba houses 288 businesses registered with Medicaid, which charged taxpayers more than $250 million between 2018 and 2024. They made Medicaid claims using billing codes that are essentially unverifiable because the service happens in the privacy of a patient's home. The businesses have been established as if by machine, with some sharing identical signs. As one sign explained, the home Medicaid businesses...
These are not signs. I think he does bring this up maybe, but later, but they're not signs. Some of them have actually professional signs, but all the doors have something in common. They've all got a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper printed from a computer that has their name on it, and then one next to it basically that says, sorry, we'll be back soon, out to break.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But there are a couple that have some like professionally made signs.
Yeah, you would think they just spend $50 and get a sign.
But no, they're not even, I mean, the signs he's about to talk about are just like advertising signs. They're not even signs of the company. They're like, hey, this is what we do. And, and oh yeah, we also just talking to somebody. So my father lives in Arizona. His wife, my stepmother, has just lost her brother a few months, 6 months ago or so. Well, he was going through hospice. He had terminal cancer and stuff like that. He was up there in age, and she was taking care of him. They lived in the same kind of retirement community. And he literally told her, I remember her telling me this last time I visited him, was like, he was trying to get me paid from Medicaid, Medicare. And this is the program he was talking about, because she is taking care of him, coming over, cleaning up the house, if he falls, she comes over, that kind of stuff. She could have charged Medicaid for that. But she's like, I ain't doing that. She's like, you're my brother. You're my brother. I don't need to get paid to take care of my brother. Well,
yeah, I think there's a right and wrong there. That was good of her, but there's people that maybe need to take time off from work and things like that. So I'm okay with the program. It's just the fraud is the crazy part.
He finds somebody, actually in this next part of the clip, he finds somebody, I think, behind the door here. I think this is the one.
don't often provide health care at all. They provide, quote, companionship and conversation. Right next to that sign held a piece of paper claiming, of course, we're on break right now. In the Cordoba office building at 1425 East Dublin Granville Road, we finally located a business suite with somebody in it. GC Home Healthcare LLC. Asked how he recruits employees, he said employees and patients come as a package. 70% of the employees are just being paid to spend time with their own family members.
The patient, they have someone in their family that has, the qualifications to be an aide, CPR and everything. So they just come together and they say, I got approval from my doctor.
After getting a note from the doctor vouching for the elder's need for personal services. The family member of an elderly person isn't set up to bill Medicaid, so a company stands in the middle.
We're just taking a small cut because they pay us and then we pay them their hours.
He said the number of hours depends on a doctor's recommendation, but it's often an hour a day.
Do you expect them to take time off of work just to take care of the roads? There has to be some sort of benefit.
I asked him why people wouldn't simply help their aging parents with basic tasks out of human decency.
Well, the government didn't pay you to do it. People see that as lucrative, so they should jump on it.
In another Cordoba building at 2700 East Dublin, there are 80 companies which collectively bill $73 million to Medicaid and receive $23 million from the state of Ohio. 11 companies billed more than $1 million apiece. 2 claim Suite A alone. Continental Home Healthcare Incorporated, led by Dekwa Mohammed, which billed $15 million, and Dynamic Home Healthcare, owned by Saeed Ahmed, who billed $10 million. Bernard Kunoda's Buckeye Health Agency charged $15 million.
All these names, all these, what? Are they all related? Are they all Somalians? It seems that way.
Mm-hmm.
No, to your point, yes. If you need to quit or take a sabbatical to take care of your dying family member, I get it. But if you're going over there once a day at 7:00 after work to talk to them, no.
Yeah. But people take advantage of it.
Yeah.
I almost don't mind that. It's just this type of
where's the oversight?
Yeah, there's it's just gosh, I can't think of the word, but it's just so fraudulent that it's how is the government not seeing the fraud?
Good question.
Or are they getting paid? Are they?
Good question. We may answer a couple of those in the next one because this one I pulled out because he digs into one of the companies, Omega Health Care or something like that. And then the next one, we have a couple more, but there's even the who of it. But let's listen to a little bit from about Omega. He just kind of digs into one of these little companies. And kind of surprising. Well, maybe not surprising.
Down the hall is Omega Home Healthcare Services, which charged taxpayers $11 million. A flyer says it provides services like hair care and homemaking, like cleaning and bed making. Omega was incorporated by Mohammed A. Jama in 2011. Jama founded a newspaper called the Somali Post and runs a trucking company. He apparently found time to do all that and raise 9 children while earning millions of dollars in Medicaid payments on the side. The Medicaid money came so easily that when he ran for state senate as the Democratic nominee in 2024, his multi-million-dollar home health care business didn't even get a mention in his biography.
Convenient.
Jama came to the United States as a refugee seeking a better life.
Refugee.
Now just 25 years later, he is part of the true American dream, where freedom, opportunity, and hard work can give any American a chance to achieve. Jama lost to a Republican. He previously ran in the Democrat primaries for the Ohio House of Representatives in 2020 and 2022. His campaigns were funded by the taxpayer via 44 donations from home healthcare companies or their owners, and 24 from learning centers or their owners. In August, Omega underwent a routine audit by the Franklin County's independent auditor. which found it impossible that they were providing at least some of the services they claimed.
Right.
On the same day that Omega said it went to people's houses to take care of them, hospitals also billed Medicaid because those people were receiving inpatient care there.
Right. Got him.
The auditor noted, quote, Omega declined to submit an official response. The auditor simply recommended that Omega refund $1,000 to cover the cases where Medicaid's own data conclusively proved the impossibility of home visits. As for the millions of dollars in other claims, the program would simply keep taking Omega's word for it.
Perfect. Well, of course there's no fraud. I mean, how could there be any fraud if you don't look for it?
It's so bold.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you are championing these programs, if you're DeWine and his cabinet or whatever, they ask for these waivers from the federal government to get these extra treatments. In the middle of and during this time, the spending on Medicaid is doubled. And it's because of this program. It's because of this kind of thing. So let's follow the money.
The big question is, what did we actually get for all these tax dollars?
I'm sure a lot.
Our investigations suggest not very much in the way of health services. Instead, the likely outcome is that billions of dollars went to enriching mafia boss-like figures and were shipped abroad to African nations for who knows what. Foreign remittances, the money immigrants receive in America and send abroad, often back to their home countries in Africa, Asia, and South America, were tracked at $93 billion in the most recent data for 2021. When you include both official channels like banks and unofficial channels like the Hawala networks popular in Muslim communities, U.S. money flowing out is at least $200 billion a year. Some of it is earned on job sites. Much of it is received through government welfare programs, both as benefits directly and indirectly through the businesses we've investigated. In previous years, we talked about welfare queens who were the recipients of these government programs, but this is a big change. Now the real welfare queens are actually the providers, and they're cashing in at a much larger scale. The Office of First Choice Home Healthcare, LLC, still has an envelope from the Ohio Attorney General's Bureau of Criminal Investigations, postmarked 5 months ago, November 8th, 2025, in front of its door. It's just one piece of evidence that nobody actually comes to many of these offices. Vetting such a business would be almost impossible. In Medicaid records, the CEO of that company is a person named Ahmed Ahmed, no middle name. It's clear that nobody has been entering this business, JLL Home Healthcare LLC, whose motto for some reason is steaming to assist. Its door doesn't even have a doorknob. It was incorporated by Kofi Adoma, who also owns a trucking business called JLL Transportation and Logistics. So they're running multiple businesses at once. With so many companies, all virtually indistinguishable from one another, lacking websites and advertising, and all charging the same Medicaid rates, the question arises, how do they recruit patients? Billing patterns.
How do they recruit patients? Well, a lot of times they buy lists from other people, from other companies. All of a sudden they'll have 23 or 20 patients or, 100 charges to Medicaid a month, and then the following month they have 1,000. Well, that's a good month of recruiting. The thing is, if you find the people who are on Medicaid and you say, hey, your daughter can earn some extra cash if you just sign up this program with our company. We'll handle all this stuff, and she's just going to get a check just for doing the same thing she's been doing. Well, yeah. So the patient it's all like one package. Like you have the patient and the worker all come together into one package.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who is doing this? This is the key here. I think this is the biggest one here. Who's doing this? It kind of gets into a little bit of, who the state of Ohio is approving to be these healthcare companies.
Pick a few doors at random, and you'll find the industry is a get-rich-quick scheme for people who oftentimes are the last ones you'd want put in charge of health. Let's pick the door that says True Home Healthcare LLC, out for a quick break.
Any door.
The company's owner is listed in Medicaid records as Mamusu Kanu. According to public records, she has a slew of criminal infractions, including theft, assault, and malicious wounding, as well as civil judgments and tax liens. True Home Healthcare received $100,000 in December 2023 alone, despite having only 15 patients, according to newly released federal data. Canu was charged with felony aggravated assault in Virginia and convicted of theft in Columbus in 2004, 2005, and 2006. In a phone interview, Mamusu Sue Canu denied that she had a criminal record.
Even if I do, it doesn't have anything to do with nobody. They certify you before you do anything.
She's suggesting that the government knew and didn't have a problem with her criminal background. And from what we've seen in our investigation, she's probably right. Incorporation documents don't list Canu's name, only a man named Aliou Conte. Conte has faced 30 charges in Franklin County Court alone, including for endangering children. They faced foreclosure in Columbus immediately before opening their Medicaid business.
What a coincidence.
The couple have been partners in crime for decades. On December 12, 2004, both Canu and Conte were charged with theft in Columbus. Conte told the Daily Wire,
"Yes, I do have a lot of records."
But the Ohio Department of Medicaid is fine with that, he said.
I put in my application, the government, Medicaid, Medicare, they checked, they see all my history, and they approve the business to operate.
Now, Conte had a roster of fake names that he would give to the police, such as Osman Canu and Gabise Gabla, leading to multiple fraud convictions. The thing is, the government is not just blind to wrongdoing that should be disqualifying in this field. It's going out of its way to provide special help and actually enable these immigrant business owners. In 2012, the Ohio Nursing Board permitted Conte to become a nurse under a probationary agreement that acknowledged his repeated fraud and violent tendencies. The probationary licensure was contingent on his meeting certain terms, including being honest, disclosing his employers to the nursing board, and refraining from crimes. He did none of those. He was convicted of DUIs in September 2014 and November 2014. When he submitted an application to review his nursing license in 2016, he falsely said he hadn't been convicted of any crimes and that he was unemployed, even though he was in fact working as a nurse. His license was suspended in July 2017. Now, in September 2017, Conte told the nursing board he intended to seek alcohol dependency treatment and regretted his actions. Just 8 days later, he was arrested for DUI yet again.
Okay, let's just go right into the wrap-up. This is only a short one.
Empty offices, misspelled and likely missing services, criminal records for repeated financial and fraud crimes.
It's really like some sort of post-apocalyptic scenario where every business is gone.
The stories go on and on and on and on. Medicaid home health care seems to be a magic money-making machine in Columbus, Ohio. One thing is crystal clear. Your hard-earned tax dollars are being shoveled out the door by the wheelbarrow full. And the more you find out about how and to whom, the madder you'll get. There are more questions than answers.
Got that right.
We're forwarding all of our investigative files to the Trump Task Force to Eliminate Fraud, chaired by Vice President J.D. Vance, who's from Ohio, and Federal Trade Commission Chairman Andrew Ferguson. You can read our entire investigative series at dailywire.com.
Or Crookedrivercast, where the article will be in the show notes. Yeah. You think this is going to get some attention from J.D.? He's already commented on it.
Yeah.
He's already commented on it.
Good.
Yeah. So when the spokesperson for DeWine says, first, I think when they brought this up a few months back, they said, fraud's kind of part of the system. It's kind of, you just got to deal with it. It's kind of cost of doing business, I think was the quote.
There's always going to be some, but this is ridiculous. Jeez.
The dude's been arrested many times for fraud, him and his woman, for fraud, for theft, for lying. But you're going to trust him with millions of dollars and a program that you could barely even do any oversight on this. How do you know? It's this company with, an elderly person and their grandkid or their child. Like, how do you verify that? This has to stop. I'm sorry. This has to be changed.
People need to go to prison.
For those who want more money for schools, guess what the other third of our budget is?
Medicaid.
Medicaid. The 2/3 of our budget is full of scams, full of corruption and rot. 2/3 of our budget. I bet you could cut all those budgets in half with some oversight. That's my feeling. Like I said, I think half the federal government budget is fraud. Maybe it's a little less in Ohio. But this is crazy. This is crazy. Here's the, what was the post that he had? He was posting a bunch of stuff where he's got a little GIF of all the names of these landlords. They're all immigrants.
Mm-hmm. Come to America. You can rip us off.
It is the American way. I mean, yeah, he's working hard at screwing all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. So go watch this. There's more to it. He's got a bunch. He's got 3 parts to it. He said he's been on a couple of interviews. Oh, that's why I wanted to think. He mentions federal data that he got. That's why he started looking into this. And he's a professional. I guess he's been doing this. Sounds like he's been doing this many times for years. The federal data he's talking about, I saw in another interview. He was on Scott Jennings' podcast. I think he was on Glenn Beck too. He's been on a few. The federal data he received was from Doge Dump. Doge released a bunch of people who were on Medicaid and Medicare, and now you're able to look at it. And he took all the information, sounds like, went through it, and the information he got pointed him to Ohio. So if everybody, I get it. I talked to my family members last weekend. Oh, we got to have, talking about home health aides, or I got uncles and stuff in hospice, and talking about the quality of care. You got some couple people that really care and some people that just don't give a crap. And in a lot of these places, they're not getting paid all that well. Well, hey, here you go. Cut 10% of the fraud and you could double their pay. That'd be maybe a little bit. Overdone it, but maybe. But there's a ton of money there. A third of our budget, almost, I think it's more than a third of our budget. I think it's 40-some million or 40-some billion over 2 years. And on to the next story. Anything else, Tom?
No.
Let us know what you think. Tell us, watch this this documentary, this reveal, this investigative reporting. He's going to have a few more drops, I think, on it. Check out the blog. Crookedrivercast.com. Send us an email, crookedrivercast@gmail.com. Send us your feedback. Leave a comment on your favorite podcasting app. We really would appreciate it. Share the show with your friends. Help us grow it. Help us grow it. Help us get some more listeners. Let's spread the word. This is how we can change our state and our community, is by informing yourself. It's the only way you can do it. Can't stop what you don't know what's happening. crookedrivercast@gmail.com. All right, next we're going to move on and do some quick stuff here. We got some headlines to pay attention to this week. Start running through them, Tom. We got CDC as a warning. Is it time to freak out, Tom? You think it's time to freak out? Totally time to freak out. CDC has a warning of salmonella outbreak in a bunch of states, I guess. Like 34 people around the whole country got salmonella. And they're talking about a salmonella outbreak. What about the Somalian outbreak?
Whoa, nice. Salmonella infections linked to backyard poultry.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Couldn't wait to get to that joke. That myself.
This is a funny article, but all they really needed to say was, if you have backyard chickens, probably wash your hands after you.
Yeah.
Feed them, pick them up.
Whenever you play with your chicken.
Yeah.
Always wash your hands afterwards.
Usually the chicken coop is just full of chicken poop.
Yeah, it's all over. They got all kinds of stuff. They're outside all the time. It's birds. You always kind of worry about birds. They have their own special flu, Tom.
Well, you know what? Yeah. They ish in the same place they eat, so there's going to be issues. So just keep your freaking area clean and wash your hands after you're done.
Moral of the story here is, after you choke your chicken, wash your hands. That's what I'm saying. Central Ohio, next one. Central Ohio spends $2 million on Flock license plate cameras. That's the story. And then the following story is, be careful what you wish for, because Dayton is suspected of sharing their Flock data with ICE. Oh, no. But it's actually a little bit more than that. It is the fact that these cities can share this camera data with anybody they want. They kind of determine. So a lot of the cities share this data amongst each other. They can pick and choose. And there's a problem with these cameras in general, but the problem becomes even more when you look at the people who are running these. And basically, I think so all photos sharing was allegedly disabled in November in Dayton. However, department officials said they didn't know about the automatic re-enabling, according to news sources. So the boomers didn't know how to work the system, and that's why this happened. So flock cameras, I'm not a big fan of them. Although I thought about them checking license plates for illegals. It kind of softened me a little bit on it. But no.
Yeah, if that's all it was doing, but I still wouldn't want that.
No, and when you put in the fact that they don't know they don't even know how the system works, it seems like, or they're missing parts of it,
Boomer be boomer.
Yeah, boomer be boomers. That's that one. Let's see. Next we have, I do have a clip from this one. We can hit it real quick. Is Ohio Supreme Court sides with the Ohio EPA, or sides with AEP Power Company. And this was based on, well, let's see if we can get through it. Yeah, we got AEP, no refund.
The Ohio Supreme Court has sided with the utility provider AEP, saying they do not need to refund millions of dollars.
In 2018 and 2019, customers paid for 2 coal plants, part of the House Bill 6 bribery scheme.
Your Columbus Bureau reporter Morgan Trout explains why you won't get your money back and gets reaction from both sides of the issue.
They're so high.
Energy bills have continued to climb across Ohio.
We're talking about the difference between a couple $100 and $500.
And American Electric Power customers like Catherine Terser have been hoping for some relief.
$50 would definitely help most of us.
And $50 is what she would have received if the Ohio Supreme Court had sided with the utility watchdog group. But the justices ruled that AEP doesn't have to refund nearly $75 million to utility customers after they were accused of overcharging them to pay for 2 unprofitable coal plants, one not even in Ohio.
Infuriating.
The Public Utilities Commission had approved AEP to collect subsidies from consumers to pay for the plants in 2018 and 2019, which then grew into further costs tied to the largest bribery scheme in state history, House Bill 6, when First Energy bribed public officials to give them $1 billion bailout. And AEP benefited from this because it codified the coal plant subsidy into state law. It has since been repealed. But in a unanimous decision by the court, the justices found that no laws were broken when AEP started charging, since it could have been costly to customers to shut down the plants. And some lawmakers are still supportive of them.
Ohioans who work at this plant, generations, their grandfathers worked there.
Former Speaker Jason Stevens said that it could cause people to lose jobs if the plants were to shut down. And he argued that the subsidies weren't part of the corrupt aspects of HB 6. Attorney Scott Poland said that the Supreme Court made the right decision, since those plans help energy diversification.
We need a well-balanced energy policy. We need natural gas. We need coal. We need nuclear.
But Terser disagreed, saying that the plants were inefficient and corrupt.
We deserve to pay bills we owe, not ones we don't.
Still, she's glad that she doesn't have to pay for them moving forward. At the Ohio State House, I'm your Columbus Bureau reporter, Morgan Trout.
That's, I guess, the gist. I don't know. They didn't. I don't think this part of the bill was what the bribery was even about. So I'm not sure. They got to make their power plants better. How about you do that instead of, they can't shut them down because we need the power, but they're very expensive, and I don't know. The Supreme Court said nope, no reason to refund. They didn't break any laws.
They were just accused. Nothing was proven, right?
Nothing has been proven, and AEP is just a subsidiary of First Energy, and the bribery was really about the coal. It was about the nuke plants. And that was the big part of the bill that they needed to pass to save their stock prices.
Mm-hmm.
There's still a problem with these plants. I mean, they got to do something about them. They're so old, they're so expensive to run that everybody's power that uses it is going to be increased, or they spread the wealth out. They spread the pain out between the whole. Everybody got like $1 or something on their on their bill, I think, or something like that.
Something like that.
Okay, moving on to this one. Well, just it's back, Tom. Do you remember this? Do you remember? I think everybody remember this.
Today in the greater Cincinnati area.
I love you so badly, I could.
They're solid plastic, so don't settle for imitation.
But the senator, while insisting he was not intoxicated, could not explain his nudity.
Oh, yeah.
Baby,
yes.
if you
it's back, man. Totally back, man.
Everybody over 50 will remember this.
Man.
I'm living on the air in Cincinnati.
What are we talking about? Well, of course.
Cincinnati, WKRP.
I don't know. Was too young for this show.
You didn't watch it, right?
I watched reruns. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I did. But I would think anybody under 50 or 45 would not know this one.
Lonnie Anderson.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
At her peak.
That was the whole reason to watch WKRP in Cincinnati. They going through this real quick. I watched a couple of YouTube videos on it, and this show was dead and buried. One of the reasons it was at 8 o'clock time slot. It should have been at 9 because they talked about some more adult stuff. But what brought them back was they slipped them into the 9 o'clock slot 3 weeks before Thanksgiving, and they had the turkey episode.
Oh, okay.
That was the episode they picked, and they were dropping live turkeys from the WKRP helicopter. And I guess this actually happened in another market. It wasn't Ohio, but they only dropped them like 20 feet or something like that out of an airplane or something. And people were complaining, but they said, "What do you mean? Most of our turkeys are just fine." Most of our turkeys end up just fine.
So what's the news here, Rob?
The news is WKRP's back, man.
Well,
back. Oasis has bought the call letters, basically.
Yeah. Well, WKRP, there's a real station that's taken on the call letters.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
not the show. The show's not back.
No, the show's not back. But the cool part is, I guess some nonprofit owned it, some charity owned it, and they got it by giving a donation to.
To the nonprofit, they gave a donation. That's how they got the call letters?
Yep, that's how they got the call letters.
Oh, cool.
And moving on to
Johnny Fever.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yep. Next, moving on.
And the station's actually going to be playing the same type of music that they played on the show, kind of like 70s, 80s rock, or 70s rock, I guess. Yes,
which would be cool.
Yeah.
I hope they have a streaming version. I just want to hear the call letters. It'd be kind of funny.
Well, they're using one of the guys that was on the show as like a bumper guy,
cool.
Yeah.
Check it out. See if we'll see what happens. I don't know when they're going to start, but check the article out and you'll find out. It's at crookedrivercast.com at the blog. Next on our list, after the unfortunate incident at Valley Forge High School in Parma, looks like Parma City Schools has announced a couple of some safety improvements. Go check out the article. I don't know. I read this and said, yeah, I mean, these are all good. Not that they're bad. They're not so intrusive. They're not doing metal detectors, which I don't know. I think parents need to kind of think before they want to push for metal detectors, because that's a whole other kind of thing for your kids to go through. It might not be careful what you wish for, I guess. But check out the article. They're doing they're actually, what they're basically doing is just putting in more cops. They're going to have an extra safety officer at the school. Plus, they're going to have the city police force do more walkthroughs actually now. Occasionally, periodically throughout the day and throughout the weeks. Random, just kind of walk through, see how things going with in correlation with the local police departments. Check out the article. Next is this was a kind of a weird one. Northeast Ohio schools threatened. Let's see, I think basically, Alliance City Schools, Amherst City Schools, Cleveland Metropolitan, Lorain, and Shaker Heights City Schools were all basically swatted, threatened with bomb threats.
Similar to what happened a few weeks ago, right?
Yep. All within a couple of days of each other. On top of that, which I didn't pull, was I'd also read another article, which was, I think last week, all 4 three or four zoos in Ohio had bomb threats and had to be shut down.
Really?
Within a week of each other. Yep.
Huh.
Toledo, Cleveland, Akron, and Columbus, I believe. Or was it? Might have been Columbus and Cincinnati. Those four. But yeah, and related. Sounds maybe. I mean,
somebody's out there playing games.
Yep. Trying to get, I don't know, headlines or get somebody shot. I don't know what the heck. But yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting. And we're wrapping things up with our, of course, favorite segment of the show.
We bring good things to life.
First on the good things. Did you see this happen to yourself, Tom? So, Ohio man, what's the story here? He goes to a convenience store, basically, and he buys a scratch-off ticket. Doesn't have a quarter or anything on the scratch-it-off. He borrows some guy who was there as a lucky scratch-off, and the guy wins $50,000. And then he calls his wife, and she doesn't believe him. He had to send a picture of the ticket for her to believe that he actually won.
Yeah, crazy.
And the Good Samaritan gave the guy who he borrowed his scratch off, that gave him $100. He's like, I gave him $100. That's all the only cash I had on me. I ran out to my wife. I called my wife, and she thought I was making it all up. She finally believed me when I sent her a photo of it. That's pretty funny. Good for him. He won $50,000, and he might get $28,000 out of that.
I think he'd get $36,000. That's
nice.
That's about what you end up getting.
Oh, so 64% tax.
Something like
no,
that.
that's not. That's be 100,000. Okay, no, it's like 40 something. Yeah, 38, 42%.
It was like 37. I forget.
Yeah, I think 37, 38. I think you're for like max if you get a gift or. Let's see. Yeah, next one. Good things. Summit. This article from Metro Parks, from the Metro Parks site. Summit Metro Parks explore almost 70 miles of trails by bike in Summit Metro Parks. And it's not just about Summit. All the Metro Parks. Again, we talk about these a lot.
I added a link to
I saw that.
The Cleveland Metro Parks there for the mountain bike trails.
It is a hidden gem that if you go to other states and cities, they don't have this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have the foresight to do this, but there is a lot of trails. And according to my doctor, I need to get back on those trails. So
same here.
Got to get my bike up and running, so I can get some exercise.
I was thinking about getting one of those electric mountain bikes. It kind of defeats the purpose, but
I mean, you get some vitamins from the air and the sun. So there's that. I looked at someone's kids. I'm like, kids, these. Oh wait, that looks just like a moped. Oh, okay, never mind. What I always wanted a moped when I was a kid.
I wanted one too, but they look like bikes more now.
Oh yeah, they look a lot more like bikes, but it's pretty good. That'd be actually. I got thoughts now. Get an electric bike. Shoot, no. I need the exercise. So yeah, check out the Summit Metro Parks, and you put the Cleveland Metro Parks with all the maps and stuff in it. If you're interested in bikes, even just go there and take a walk on the trails. Great.
The mountain bike trails are pretty good hiking trails too. So.
Yeah, and they take really good care of them. They update them all the time.
They do.
I haven't been on it in a couple of years, but when I was going on it, they took care of them. And most of those are volunteers. So that do that, which is awesome. So man wins. We got Summit. Oh, and lastly but not least, definitely is Cedar Point is now open today as of this recording of the show. Their first day open is today. That definitely means. Summertime is here.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's crying. Oh my gosh, Cedar Point's $100. Did you hear? Cedar Point's $100 now to get in.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah, that's what I heard a couple people say. And I'm like, really? Like, yeah, that's why I went on the website. Yeah, it is $100 if you go to the gate. But if you buy it online, it's $52.
Oh, okay.
So who the heck, they want you to buy it ahead of time so they know, to expect, and they're really incentivizing you, so it's not $100. If you can't sit out in your car and buy a ticket on your phone, then maybe you should pay $100. But yeah, check out Cedar Point this year. Nothing new. They had the Sirens Curse last year, and then they revamped Top Thrill, and check it out. Got a lot of 250th anniversary stuff going on this year there, and it's gonna be a good year. One of the largest fireworks displays for 4th of July. It's another gem of Ohio, Cedar Point. Unique to to us. Not many places have an amusement park like that. And on that note, that's it. That's the show. It's a wrap. Please appreciate you listening. We even really appreciate if you can share the show with your friends, send it to your family, send it to your cousin, send it to your uncle. Say, hey, look at these yahoos. See what they're right or wrong. Leave us a comment. Send us an email, crookedrivercast@gmail.com. Check out the blog when it drops. Every Monday when the show comes out, crookedrivercast.com. Again, thank you for listening. We'll talk to you next week.
Peace.